Hey guys, we're going to do another chapter 4 video here, 4.2, and we're going to talk about what form am I writing my equation in. So we're going to focus on form today. And we've seen this in prior videos, but there's 3 ways to write a linear equation. So for our notes, what we're going to do over here is we're going to write over here a linear equation. As an algebra student, one of our jobs is to become experts at linear equations and really understand them fully. And there's 3 formats that we can write a linear equation in. So we're going to write them over here. Number 1, my most favorite one, is of course the slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept. And I like slope-intercept. It's a handy one for graphing. It's easy to work with. The format that it is that it's that good y equals mx plus b. And you can see where it gets its name from because mx plus b includes the slope and includes the intercept. Hence it's called slope-intercept, and this is the y-intercept to be exact. So we like y equals mx plus b because right away when we see it, we're like, oh, there's a slope, there's the y-intercept, and we're ready to graph. We're like ready to rock with it. So it's a really nice format, but there are other formats as well. Number 2 here would be what we call the standard form of a linear equation. So standard form. Standard form is not my favorite, to be honest, but it's important to know it. The way a standard form is written is it looks a little bit scrambled up. It looks like this, ax plus by equals c. And those a, b, c's, each of these are a number. So in reality, it's things like 2x plus 3y equals 7, or 9x plus 2y equals -5. So each of these are numbers. I'm just making those numbers up. What's confusing about standard form, or is kind of standing out to me currently at least as confusing, is this b is not the same as this b. It's not the y-intercept, it's just a number. So you have 3 numbers. What I don't like about standard form is when I look at it, I don't know the slope, so there's no m, or no slope. And when you look at it, you don't see the y-intercept, so there's also no y-intercept. So it's not a very handy format, to be honest. I look at it and I'm like, well, I don't know the slope and I don't know the y-intercept. I don't really like it for graphing. But it's important to be familiar with the form. And then there's a third one, number 3, which we are just starting to practice, and it's called the point-slope form. Point-slope form. Write that down at the bottom. And point-slope form I like a little bit because it can be handy. It's not very pretty looking. It's a little bit messy. It looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's the format that it's in. And what it gives us is it gives us 2 things. It gives us slope, so we have the m. That's nice. And then it gives us a point. And the point is this x1, y1. So I'm going to write that over here. You get a point that is x1, y1. Put a little comma there. Hence it's called point-slope form. So it's mostly handy when you are given the point and the slope. If they say, hey, I know a line is crossing through this coordinate point and it has this slope. Well, that's pretty handy. Point-slope form is going to be really nice for that then, and we're going to like it. So those are kind of our 3 formats. I would say out of the 3, I'm always going to say y equals mx plus b is my most handiest one. It's most familiar to me. Standard form is my least liked one, but I want to know it and understand it. And point slope can be handy in certain situations. So let's get into what we're going to practice today. So when you're taking a quiz or a test or an exit ticket, it really becomes super important to read the directions carefully. A lot of people miss these problems just based on not reading it closely enough. So go ahead and write this problem down in your notebook. Our first example, which is write an equation of a line in point-slope form for a line passing through -8, -41, and 314. Okay, so hopefully you're writing this story problem down, or this situation down. So here's the thing that people miss. A lot of people write an equation of a line, and then they see the points, and they're like, okay, y equals mx plus b. But what you have to pay attention to is it specifically says in point slope form. It is crucial you read those directions, because the second you see that, your mind should be saying, okay, I got to do it in that point slope form, that y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So read the directions, read, read, read. So what does that mean? Well, it means I need a point, and it means I need a slope. So I'm going to write that down here. I'm going to need a point, and I'm going to need a slope. Those would be my two things that I'm going to try to find. Well, this problem's not too bad because we already have a point. We actually have 2 points, -8, -41, and 314. So you can choose either one, whichever point you like. I think I might use the 314 just because the numbers are a little smaller and nicer. So that's going to be my point. I don't know my slope, so this is where I got to do a little bit of math. I need to do some work. Since I don't know my slope, I'm going to have to use my delta y over delta x equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to need that equation. And I already have my 2 points, so up above, this is kind of nice. I have both of these. So in this case, let's go backwards. I'm going to call this x1, y1, just to be different today. I'm going to call this x2, y2. And our equation is y is on top, changes in y, so y2 minus y1. So let's see here. We're going to write equals y2. This time y2 is -41. Okay, I'll write that down. Minus y1, which is 14. Okay? Then I'm going to do x2 minus x1. So here's my x2. It's -8. And then I'm going to take away x1, which is 3. All right, let's clean this up and see what we get. So underneath, I'm going to write equals delta y over delta x equals -41 take away 14. Let's see, that'd be 55, -55. And 8 take away 3, -8 take away negative minus the 3 is going to be -11. Okay, so not so bad because a negative divided by a negative is positive. And 55 divided by 11, I know what that is. Delta y delta x is going to equal, how many 11s go into 55? 5, yeah. I had something to drink. Hey, 2. Okay, so we've got our slope. Our delta y delta x is equal to 5. So now I can write up here, this is 5. So let's go and do what we were supposed to be doing, which is writing the point slope form. So point slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, we figured out m. It's 5. That's our slope. We got that part figured out. And we have our x1, y1. Our x1, well, let's see here. This is x1 and this is y1. So our x1 is 3 and our y1, which is right here, is 14. So what do we have for an equation? Y minus 14 equals 5 times x minus 3. There is our point slope form. This is our solution. Let me show you one way we could take this a little bit farther. Here's something we could do to kind of double check ourselves. So we're all done. We've got our answer. This is a great point slope answer. But what I'm going to do is change it to y equals mx plus b. Watch how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take y minus 14 equals 5 times x minus 3. Put a little line down the middle. And I'm going to change it into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to distribute the 5 in. I'm going to do 5 times x is 5x. Minus 5 times 3 is 15. And I'm going to have y minus 14 equals 5x minus 15. Well, let's add that 14 over. Let's add that 14 over. So y equals 5x. Negative 15 plus 14, that's not bad, that's -1. So there's my y equals mx plus b. Why am I doing that? Well, I'm doing that for a purpose. We're going to make a proof. I have a second step that we're going to do here, and I need a little more space. I'm kind of running out of room here, so I'm going to get some more paper over here. So let's get another piece over here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change the point that we used here. We're not going to use 314. We're going to use the -8 and the -41. So I'm going to change my setup. Same problem, but this time I'm going to use the point that is located at -8 and -41, but obviously still the same slope. The slope is still going to be 5. And I'm going to write a new point-slope equation with a different point. So my y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 is going to look different. Yeah, my slope is still 5, my m is still 5, that's for sure. But my point has changed. I need to change my coordinate point. Here's my x1, y1. So I'm going to put -8 right here for my x1, and I'm going to put -41 right here for my y1. So I'm going to have y minus -41 equals 5 times x minus -8. I'm going to clean that up with those minus signs. I'm going to make that y plus 41 equals 5 times x plus 8. And there's my point-slope form. What have I done? Well, I've just found a second answer to our question. The question said, write an equation in point-slope form. Hey guys, both of these are point-slope form. They both have a slope of 5. I just used 2 different coordinate points on the line. How can I prove that I'm right? Well, here's how I'm going to prove it. I'm going to rearrange this one into y equals mx plus b. I'm going to take y plus 41 equals 5 times x plus 8. And I'm going to do the same thing. Put a line down the middle, solve for y. I'm going to multiply the 5 in. 5 times x, 5 times 8. I'm going to get 5x plus 5 times 8 is 40. Okay, I'm going to have y plus 41 equals 5x plus 40. I'm going to take that 41 away from both sides. Nice. So I'm going to get y equals 5x. And then 40 minus 41 is going to be a -1, a -1. There's my y equals ms plus b. Check this out. Here's my evidence that these are correct. I ended up at the end with the exact same y equals mx plus b. They're equal to each other. And that is a really good sign, because if they weren't equal, then I'd be like, wait a second, these aren't the same thing. That means these are equal to each other. We had 2 point-slope forms. Now I could go find another 1,000 points on this line, and I could write many variations of my point-slope form. As long as my slope is 5, I can use any point on the line. But here's a little evidence. This is getting me in the direction of going for that advanced level 4 right now, because now I'm proving 2 possible answers to the same problem. And I'm using y equals mx plus b to do that. All right, hopefully that made a little bit of sense when you were watching it. Okay, so let's try another problem here. New question. This time, here's our question. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line passing through -7, 3 with a slope of 2/7. That form. Again, it all comes down to read the directions. This time it says write an equation in slope-intercept form. The second I read slope-intercept, my brain goes to y equals mx plus b. So it is so important that I pay attention to what is it telling me. So y equals mx plus b means I need m, the slope, and I need b, the y-intercept. Those are the 2 things I need to find, is what's m and what's b. Well, they kind of just told me the slope is 2/7, so my m is equal to 2/7. I don't think I know my b though. I think I'm going to have to solve for it. So let's solve for b. Let's do a little work down here. Since my slope is 2/7, I'm going to have 2/7 x plus b. I'm going to change x and y into the coordinate point that they gave us, which is -7, 3. That's an x and that's a y value. So x is -7, so that'll go here, -7. And then 3 is y, so that'll go here. So 3 equals 2/7 times -7 plus b. Okay, so fractions, not the best, but this isn't too bad. 2 times 7, -7, is -14. So we have 3 equals -14, and then it's 7ths plus b. And 14 divided by 7, if I divide this fraction, is going to be 3 equals a -2 plus b. So all I got to do is add this 2 over, and we're going to get a nice answer. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 equals b. There we go. So if 5 equals b, then my y-intercept up here that I can write down is b equals 5. And we got it. We got our information. So remember, our job is to do slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, well, we got the m. It's 2/7. I'll write it here. And now we got the b because we did the math, and we got 5. So our answer is y equals 2/7 x plus 5. There it is. There's our solution. All right, now to take this farther, I'd probably go graph it. But if I do go graph it, and I'm not going to do that in this video, but if that was my choice on a test, I would make sure that this point right here is highlighted and circled on my graph, because that's going to be my proof that this line actually passes through this point like it says. It says it's passing through -7, 3. So if I'm choosing to graph, don't just graph this line. Prove that it passes through that point. Make sure that it does. All right, one last problem here, and this one's for you. It is your U-try problem. Let's see if you got a hang on how to do this. Let's see if you got it down. So your U-try is, write an equation of a line passing through -4, 11, and 5, -7 in point slope form. Go ahead and pause your device, see if you can do this completely by yourself first, and then we will check your answer. All right, let's see how you did. So key thing here is the directions. I see the words point slope form. That's good. So already I know I'm going to use that y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Pay attention to those directions. So point slope form means I need exactly that. I need a point and I need a slope. I'm going to need both of those things. So in my problem, I definitely have points, but I don't have a slope. So I have to choose which point I want to use for my equation. And I could use either one. If I want to use -4, 11, that's no problem whatsoever. But I don't know my slope, so I'm going to have to do my delta y over delta x. And I'm going to have to use that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 formula. Notice I'm not just doing it in my head, I'm writing it down. I'm going to label this as x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to carefully do my equation down here. So y2 minus y1, the change in y's. Well, here's the y's. It looks like -7 and 11. So I'm going to do -7 take away 11 over the x's. Let's see, the x's look like -4 and 5. So I'm going to do 5 take away -4. And then we're going to clean this up and solve. So let's see, delta y over delta x equals -7 take away 11 would be -18. And then 5 minus -4, that's like +4. 5 plus 4 is 9. Oh good, -18 divided by 9. Okay, well that's -2. Awesome, there's my slope. M is equal to -2. So we figured that out. Okay, I am ready to get my answer, my point slope form. Now that we know the slope is -2, which hopefully is what you got when you're checking your answer right now, we know that this is -2. So we're going to have y minus y1. Okay, what's y1? What's our point? Well, let's see here. This is the x1, y1, so I guess it's 11, equals -2 times x minus x1, which in this problem is -4. So it looks like that. And I don't really want this minus, so I'm going to change it to y take away 11 equals -2 times x plus 4. And there is my point slope form. Done. Okay, so you might have a different answer though. You might be checking this and saying, well, I did all my math correctly, but I chose a different point. No problem. I'm going to make a little extra space here to show that. If you're like, I did exactly this, but I chose for my point to use the 5, -7. That's okay. You can do that. You still have to have the same slope. You still should have come up with a slope of -2. We shouldn't be disagreeing on that. That just means when I do my equation, it's going to be y minus -7 equals -2, my slope, times x minus be 5. So I'll clean this up to y plus 7 equals -2 times x minus 5. And this is the second possible answer you could get for this problem. Both of these count as being correct. Either one of these would work because they're equal to each other. And did any of you take it one step farther and do your y equals mx plus b? Did you prove that they're equal to each other? Because that'd be pretty cool if you did. So let's do that real quick. Y plus 7 equals negative 2 times x minus 5. I'm going to rearrange it. I'm going to put my line down. I'm going to distribute my negative 2 in. And I'm going to see if that is the same as this one. Y minus 11 equals negative 2 times x plus 4. Same story. I'm going to distribute my negative 2 in. I'm going to see if these are equivalent to each other. So let's see, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times a negative 5 is a positive 10. So we have y plus 7 equals negative 2x plus 10. Let's just take that 7 away. Let's see, the 7's gone. Y is going to equal negative 2x, and then 10 minus 7 is 3. There's my y equals mx plus b. Let's check the other one. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So y minus 11 equals negative 2x minus 8. Let's add that 11 over. Maybe this is what you guys did too. And that's going to be y equals negative 2x. Negative 8 plus 11 is 3. Positive 3. There we go. Awesome. There's my evidence. This just proved that these are equal. Therefore, these are equal. That's my proof. Did you do that when you did your U-Try, or did you stop at one of these? This is how you can take it farther. Okay guys, so this kind of wraps up the video. What I really want you kind of taking away from this is how do you do this point slope form stuff, and can you prove that your point slope forms are equal to each other? Because you can use more than one point on the line. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in class, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.